What is up, guys? My name is Matt and you're watching JM Simulations. Today we're going to be in the PMDG 777X, 777, I guess they're trying to call it 777 LR freighter. Sorry I've been absent for a very long time recently. I've just been doing a lot, especially with Christmas, the holiday season. I've not really gotten a chance to do much content, but today I got this the other day for the holidays, and very excited to show this plane off. As you can see outside, it's fantastic. I really, you don't really understand, when people are saying, oh, the PMDG is the best, the 777 is the best aircraft ever, until you actually get inside of it and give yourself a chance to get familiarized with this aircraft. So, without further ado, we're gonna get this started here. First, we're actually gonna have to put some fuel in this aircraft because we are currently no fuel. You have the long, medium, or short range capabilities when fueling this aircraft. Then you can, it's obviously normal FMC things. And before I get into the FMC and start putting in stuff, I really want to showcase the checklist system. So I'm going to go into the APU, turn the APU on, and wait for that to start up, because all these panels, the first officer panels and the EFIS panel will not go on until the APU is on. So we're gonna give that a chance. We're gonna make this a little bit larger so you can see better, and come in here and start doing stuff. So, alright then, whatever. We're in the Qatar Airways livery today. I think they're a very pretty livery. I like it quite a bit. It's not working for some reason. So we're just gonna come in here, get our 0 fuel weight. Reserves, we'll just put 6. We're not really going anywhere. We'll put cost index 60, cruise out 38,000 feet. I was trying to start off this this video with a quick show of the operation center, but I couldn't get Fraps to pick it up for some reason, which is very disappointing. But I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'll put a screenshot right here so you can see it, and all is well. So let me actually just pick up the ATIS to get the altimeter for this airport. There you go, APU just started running because the EFIS panel is up. 128725. Move this out of the way. 12. So it's quite loud. 28. As you can see, the color of the hand changes based on which one you're on, which is very cool. Switch that. Hopefully get the ATIS now. Not quite. Whatever. I'll just go up and do it myself. I can find out the altimeter. We're leaving KJFK, runway 04 left, so we can get our V speeds calculated. And we're gonna go flaps 15 today. Standard flaps for takeoff. And so we have to come back into this route, and we'll go to Dubai, which is, we're not actually gonna go that way, but what is it again? It's OMDB, I believe. OMDB or OMBD? OMBD. That's what it is. Maybe it's OMDB. Whoops. There we go. I just activated it here now. Coming in for. I keep having a problem with getting the takeoff calculated, the takeoff speeds. So I might look that up again, because center of gravity is what? Let's check it. Performance. Center of gravity is 14%. 14%. 14.0%. Huh. That's interesting. Let's check this out. Performance. Cruise. Oh, that's cruise. Whoops. Takeoff speed. This is something that's very confusing, because I've meticulously learned this aircraft, and this is the one. Oops. That was annoying. One thing that I guess I just cannot get right. Airport's right in the water, so go to 1033 or a nope, oops, a 3050. I'll just fill it in myself because I don't know why it's not doing that. These aren't actually what? These aren't actually calculated. I didn't actually calculate these. So I don't know if it's actually going to give it to me, allow me to do it. Thrust, 98%. Center of gravity, 14%. It is still not doing it. Can I do it now? No. Whatever. We'll just pretend we don't. Oh, there we go. How perfect. Takeoff reference. Runway position. Runway is about, I think it's 10,000 feet. 04 left. / 10,000 feet. No, that doesn't work either. So let's just set the trim now. Set for 2.25 on takeoff. So actually we'll just trim it up like this. 225. That's about 2.25 there. Still can't request the takeoff data. Takeoff gross weight. Imagine 212.3. Please work. Ah, perfect. It's very meticulous. You have to put in the entire thing. So now we're going to come into here and click on our displays page. I'll get nice and close for this. As you can see, we have a selection of all the E1s: left inbound, lower center, and the right inbound, lower center, otherwise known as the EFS display right here. And you have all these things that you can check in flight and before flight, which is, you know, engine statistics, electric, hydraulic fuel, air, doors, gears, flight controls, nav, comm, and the checklists. So we're going to come in checklist now and show you really what you got here on this checklist. They're very, very extensive. Oxygen's tested, flight instruments. We'll get our runway heading in. It's going to be quite a long video just to really focus on everything that this aircraft has to offer. We'll get it as 140. Nope, a little bit farther. That's, oh, 4, whoops, it's 4 left. I'm such an idiot. I thought it was 14 left, even though I go to JFK every single week or something like that. Okay. Heading, altimeter is set, and we want to check our flight instruments, so we'll come in here. FCTL. We'll go full left. All good. Full right. All good. Full aft. All good. Full forward. All good. Left on the rudder. Oh, we can actually see our stabilizer here. As you can see, it's going down. We'll go 2.25 for our takeoff right there. It's set right to the left of the tail. Full left rudder is good. Full right rudder is good. Neutral. Flight controls are checked. Back to the checklist. Back into our normal checklist. Back to pre-flight. And that is good. Now we got our pre-flight checklist complete. We come into our normal menu. Come over before start. Flight deck door. Closed. And where's the lock button? It's down here somewhere. Closed. Flight deck door. I can't click it for some reason. So I guess we just have to do that. We'll get our transponder set for VFR. Even though we're not going to be flying VFR. Can't really do that, so no. MCP good, even though we don't really have a flight plan set in. We can take that off. Goes off. Flight display. Good, we're good on that. Takeoff speeds are good. Let's just check those again, they're good. CDU pre-flight completed. Trim set. Taxi and takeoff briefing complete. Beacon is on. So as you can see, I just turned on the beacon, and it actually just did that for me because it knows that I turned on the beacon. You can actually click that one without having to turn the beacon on because it knows if you turn the beacon on or not. So it's very cool stuff. Obviously, like the briefings and stuff, it doesn't know what it is. So now we completed before start. So now we'll go and start the aircraft. It's actually quite simple, very much like all the other jet aircraft. If you know how to start one jet aircraft, you can, you know, finagle your way into starting all the other ones because they're quite similar in the way that they do things. So just you can see we'll come into here and get into our engine just so we can watch our N1 or N2 rather. When it hits 20%, we inject fuel into the engine. 20%. The great thing about this aircraft is that you can start both engines at the same time. Saves a lot of time, which Boeing really wanted to do when creating this aircraft. It's a great thing. It saves really like 4 or 5 to maybe 6 minutes of time, which in the real world translates to a lot of fuel that you can save with this aircraft when you use it on large scale like airlines. Here, EGT rising, and we have a Horizon N1 on engine number 1. Now N1 number 2 is rising. Alright, as you can see, something a little bit weird about this is that the decimals are quite hard to see. But whatever, it's okay. Okay, transponder is set, that's off. FMC message. Performance, we don't need that because we are not flying like that. We're going to be flying manually. Alright, let's get these on. APU's off. And our generation should kick on. Electric is set to on. Packs will turn to normal. Center pumps can come off. And the packs, like I said, will go to normal. We can turn up the heat in the aircraft. You know, this also comes with the freighter version, which is very nice as well. Both very extensively detailed aircraft, I should say. Both really beautiful. You know, they're quite similar. Now we'll set our flaps down to 15. Just make sure, right quick. And we'll come down into here and go right through our checklist again. Landing altitude. Our menu before takeoff. Anti-ice don't need. Recoil checked. Auto brake. RTO. Flight control is checked. Ground equipment is clear. Then we'll come back in here and we can leave it on the before takeoff. Right in the and actually that's already checked, so we're good pretty much all the way up into takeoff for now. And we'll start our taxi all up into 04 left. And I'll taxi outside just so you guys can actually hear the aircraft. It's a very beautiful aircraft. Horrible frames right now for some reason. As you can see outside, I'm getting pretty bad frames, but this aircraft generally, like you can see, like right now I'm running 19 frames, which is quite good for fraps. I usually, you know, on the lower end, I usually run 20 frames per second on fraps. So this is actually really good. As you can see, it's, you know, very good performance. It's something that the PMDG did really well with this aircraft. You can see I'm pretty much making my own taxiways here, not really following any set lines, just so we can get there a little bit faster and save you all some time. Something else with this aircraft is that its nose wheel is quite far behind the actual the cockpit, so you actually do turn a little bit sooner than you anticipate. I mean later than you anticipate, so you have to wait a little bit, which is no problem. It's just quite interesting, so we have to get quite used to while adjusting and training into this aircraft. So when I get to the front, it gets a little bit more. Let myself go a little too far there. When you go on the front, it gets a little more slow on the FPS for some reason. But here it's all good. It looks really beautiful. I'll go through all the views here.
Approaching 3-1 left.
You can see we're approaching 3-1 left. It tells us. It says you're approaching 3-1 left. You know, watch out if there's you know, something like captains or pilots, you know, might not be paying attention. This is another cool view that you can see. Pilots might not be paying attention. Also, you know, maybe if a runway is covered with snow in the winter time, like now, if they're not using it, even though it's not obviously, maybe it's not really realistic in this kind of airport environment, but maybe a pilot might not see it. It might just cross right over without clearance or something. You know, and it says, or even if you thought you had clearance but you didn't, it tells you you're approaching the runway, and you know quite well that you're approaching the runway. And it helps you stay prepared in the situation and know what's going on. But as you can see, we're really approaching the runway here. I'm just going to go through last minute checks to make sure the aircraft is ready to go. Landing altitude, landing altimeter, pull on, set manually. I've never actually done this, so I have no idea. Landing out. Well, we're landing at the same airport, so I don't think it really matters, to be quite honest with you. We're just in a traffic pattern, so I don't really think the altimeter is going to change in that much of time. As you can see, it really takes not a lot of power to keep this aircraft going. Really, I'm using none right now, and it's still powering through. Really huge engines. The engines are some of the biggest engines ever used in commercial aviation. Really powerful. Keeps the engine flying for the longest routes in the world. I mean, right under an A3. You know, it's the second under an A350, which Singapore Airlines flies all business class A350 from Singapore to Newark. But you know, all jokes aside, this is a very popular aircraft in the world, and it's very powerful and very versatile, and it's just amazing. But as for how the channel's going, everybody's really it's going very well. At 40 subscribers, on our way to 100, views are going very well, and everybody's really being just very nice to us, and very supportive, and saying that we should keep going, keep doing it, and chasing this because it's a good idea. And they like our content. There goes the runway incursion thing again. Another thing I plan on doing is the Captain Sim. As you know, I just did the Captain Sim. I'm going to do a Captain Sim PMDG comparison. Obviously, I think the PMDG is a lot better now. The only thing is that the PMDG is a lot more money. As you can see, we're on runway 04 left, and we know that now. The little sounds in the aircraft are very nice. But the thing is, like I said, this aircraft is very expensive. It comes at $90. A lot of people don't have the money to just pay $90 to get an aircraft, and that's sorry for these horrible frames. That's understandable, and I feel like the CS is good if you want to have a 777. You can't spend $90 at the moment. That's fine. But obviously, I got this as a gift, so I didn't pay for it. I would never have paid for it if it was $90. Honestly, it's just I know it's I spend that much money, annually, but on one product, it's just not something I want to do. But winds are at 134 today, so we're going to be taking this runway here. You can see those engines coming up to full power, and go outside now to hear it. Sorry about that, I just wanted to make sure I was in the cockpit. As you can see, this thing is just powering through. We've got very low fuel today. Didn't say rotate for some reason. But as you can see, we got very little fuel, so we're powering through this climb at crazy speeds. Already reached the flap up speed, so we'll flaps up here. And pushing through 4,500 feet per minute. Still gaining speed, and we're going up now. Just wanted to give it another view from the outside, and that's even with the gear still down, just to show how much power it has. Now you're pulling the gear up, and as you can see, our vertical speed will start to increase dramatically as it actually goes up. We were at 5,300 before. Now we're passing 5,600, 5,700, 5,800, and very cool stuff. Very powerful aircraft. We're pushing through this altitude like crazy. We'll bring the power back a little bit here to come set ourselves up for a landing back at JFK. Obviously, like every other PMDG aircraft, this thing has a very just amazing things that come with it, such as the Operations Center, which is available also for other PMDG aircraft, such as the NGX you can use on it, and the Jetstream is the only other one I have that I can use with it. I don't know if there's other ones that you can use because I don't really have that many. I mean, I had the 747, MD-11, and the 777, NGX, and the Jetstream. I don't know if you can use any other ones because those ones I don't have other than those ones. But as for this aircraft, I could say it's very it's integrated very well with the system of the Operations Center. And the Operations Center is a beautiful thing, and I think they're doing great with it, especially with how the PMDG 777 set up, where you just go in there, download your liveries. I think it's a much more time-effective way to download liveries, as you don't have to go searching through these long lists of liveries to figure out which livery you want. But now we're gonna just level off here at 5,400 feet. And just wanted to show you some demonstrations before we get back to the runway. Something very cool about this aircraft is that it has a automatic system for overbanking. So if I overbank the aircraft past 35 degrees, it'll say bank angle, and it'll push back over to 35 degrees. Now I'll demonstrate that here, where I'll get a constant bank here, leave it here at this bank angle, and then push it a little further. And as you can see, it pushes back. Now I didn't do that push. So as you can see, the aircraft's very responsive. Got a little slow here, so I'm gonna add our power back in. But as you can see, it's very responsive, and it's almost like it's alive. That it's feeling everything you're doing and making sure that you're doing it correctly. So that's also something very cool that I appreciate very much. Piloting this aircraft, knowing that if I'm not paying attention, if I'm looking at my phone or something, obviously not in the real world, I would never do that. But if I'm sitting here looking at my phone on approach, and I really just wanted to get a text into this girl I'm talking to, and I accidentally overbank, the PMDG 777 is there to save me for that situation, which is obviously very good. Wrong way. Gonna try and get some more nose down trim here. Actually, I went the wrong way. I thought I went the right way, but I went the wrong way. Get some nose down trim here. Just trying to keep the speed low while maintaining control. Whatever, I'll just do this. Gonna come into here and get our approach. We'll get flaps 30 today. We'll start adding flaps now and start descending. Like I said, many features about this aircraft that are just amazing. Now we'll come into our approach thing. Altimeters are set, and come back into here for our landing checklist. Speed brakes armed, landing gears not down yet, and flaps are at 1. Those other ones that you can see under speed brake will get automatically filled, so we don't have to worry about them. I can continue on the approach, and when I get to those stages where I put flaps at 30 and I get my gear down, those will check themselves. For some reason the trim is still staying quite high, so I'm just going to have to battle that trim, I guess. That's quite annoying, but what are you going to do? So as you can see, very responsive too. If I'm just, you can see very agile, even though it's immense weight. It's a very heavy aircraft, very versatile aircraft, and yet it behaves as a Cessna 172, which is, obviously it shows that they put a lot of thought into this aircraft, and Boeing's design. It's just they made a beautiful aircraft, and that is very true. The aircraft is very beautiful. Now we're just turning here. A little bit of a steep bank, but we want to just get in here and get into this approach nice and quickly. Don't want to keep you guys for long. As you can see, we have a lot of sound when getting the gear down. As you can see in our checklist, landing gear set to down. Go flaps 25. Flaps coming down to 25. get down to VREF, and we'll get flaps 30. As flaps actually hit 30, which they haven't yet, and we're quite high, so we can keep this power out and just keep our descent rate coming. As you can see, checklist is done, and we can go back into our normal menu and keep that for shutdown. But now we're just going to, like I said, keep that power out, try and trim the nose down a little bit because I'm fighting with the trim a little bit, and get this aircraft down. As you can see, we're quite high, and get the speed brakes out, and it's just telling us speed brakes are extended. It was my fault for not descending sooner. I wasn't paying attention as I should have been. Got another aircraft, the Embraer 140, landing on another runway, which we're going to ignore because it's AI traffic. Obviously, if it was real world, we would not be doing that, but as it is not real world, we're not. Auto brake, we'll set that to 2 or 1 or 2. 2 is good. We'll set that to 2, and we'll continue on our approach. A little bit of a steep approach, and we can leave power out pretty much for the entire rest of the way now until I get the desired glide path I want. I really don't have to do anything to the power right now until I get below the glide path. Then I can start adding power, or I might be able to just use this airspeed to get me all the way down. We'll see. As it's a very powerful aircraft, it might have that capability. Very, very fluid on the approach. Very, very good retention, or good retention of the lift. It's got very large wing flex. It keeps a lot of lift in it. You might have to give a little bit of power just to creep over this little bit of a power curve and keep the approach coming. A very, very beautiful aircraft to fly, hand fly especially, and it's a lot of fun to do approaches with this. Like I said, the retention of lift is just great, and we can disregard those warnings and start pulling back now.
20, 10.
Whoa. That was the smoothest landing I've ever done in my life, and you all got to witness that. So there was that. The smoothest landing I've ever done in my life. Hope you guys enjoyed that, because you'll never see that again from me. And we're just going to stay on the brakes here and come off this high-speed taxiway Juliet here. Come get our flaps up, put our speed brakes back up, and oops, my joystick got disconnected, as it does sometimes, so we might overrun this taxiway just a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately, actually, no, we managed to save it. Just going to come back in here and park her back up where we were. After landing checklist, we'll go through right now. Shutdown, we can get started now. We'll put it on our nav display because we don't actually need our nav display anymore. So let's come into normal menu. And I'm paying attention to the taxi, don't worry. I just want to do this so you guys can see. Hydraulic panel will be set. We're just doing stuff that we could do right now. Flaps are coming up. Parking brake will be set. Flaps are up, and we'll just come and park right here. Like I said, I'll have a comparison video up quite soon. Like I said, videos have been coming out less frequently just because of virtue of being busy. Jason just put up another video very recently. It's a very cool video on FSX performance, which is much needed in the community. Parking brake is set. Fuel cut off. Fuel control is cut off, and it's set. We forgot to turn on the APU, but we're okay. We don't quite need it at this point. Hydraulic pumps are set, and fuel pumps are set. So now we will wait until those come back on. Okay. Shut down, parking brake, hydraulic panel. Let's get our hydraulic panel off completely. Good. That is set, and our parking brake is set, which it doesn't, I guess, pick up, but that is set. Then we'll come back down, secure the aircraft, and then we'll get off. ADIRU. That's not the header here, but we'll turn that off anyway. Emergency lights. Get all the lights off here. Pretty sure that's emergency lights. Emergency lights. Where are the emergency lights? Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. And the packs are off. You can see a lot of these things are buttons. All sound different. Very, very cool. How they, how they click in. Very cool. And we'll turn our battery off, and we'll go completely dark here in a second. I could do a cold dark startup if you guys want. Just let me know. That's all possible. And here, so pretty much cold and dark PMDG 777 in its minimum state here. And it's just beautiful. Best aircraft I've ever flown in FSX, and I plan to have a lot of fun hours with this aircraft. And I plan to do a lot of stuff with this aircraft on the channel. And I hope you guys are excited for that. I'm going to turn the battery on one more time to see if we can get those doors open so I can show you some really cool stuff with the doors. If I can't get them started, then whatever. Anyway, they all these doors open up and they look quite cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And look out for more videos. This is Matt, and bye-bye.